Thanksgiving Day is coming, approaching, and we should also give thanks to Rishi Patanjali for the teaching that he has given to us is excellent. Today we will be discussing about how to realize God, how to know Atman, how to know Brahman, and everything is within our capacity. We can do it. But before that, as we always do, let us chant this sloka and begin. Mono Buddha Hamkara Chittani Naham Nacha Shotra Juve Nacha Ghrana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumi Na tejo na vayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Shivoham. Now, in our last discussion, we were studying about the 14th aphorism of the second chapter, Sadhan Pada of Patanjali Yoga Darshan. And there we were reading Te Hlada Puritapa Phala Punya Apunya Hetutvat. If we break these words, we can understand this punya and apunya. It is merit and demerit that we can understand. This punya and apunya, this virtue and vice. Because of these two, all this result is coming. Sometimes the birth, te means that birth, Hlada, it is full of pleasure. Right from the birth till the death, the person is enjoying his life. That is called Hlada. Paritapa phalaha, again there is pain, is the result. That the son of the Prince Philip of London, is a small little kid. But all other kids wrote a letter to him, asking him, can you please help us to get our school or something? I have forgotten exactly what they wanted to. And they wrote to that small kid who has not learned the ABCD even. But because the letter came from the children of the schools, and they thought it is better to approach to this person, though he is a little kid, but is the son of a king, the prince. And government immediately accepted that. The kid don't know, but everybody is appreciating him. What a birth. Because of that, from the beginning itself, enjoying. So that is called te, that birth, hlada, full of pleasure. Paritapu phalaha. Again, there are so many difficulties are there. I was seeing that advertisement, one small kid is telling in that advertisement, my father has left our home, will you please help us? So why this? We see the two pictures. One is enjoying, another is suffering. Why this? Then the Patanjali Rishi and the Indian philosophy, it says, because of your karma. And there is no other answer. The other answer is vague answer. You can say, just, it's like an accident. Some people are passing through this. The lamp post, it was falling. And all the vehicles they are passing, the last vehicle passed, following the next one, it was hit by that. Now, how to explain? Accident. But it is really accident. So many things happen. We cannot answer it. We try to rationalize it. But our Shastra says, all has a first you have done something, and this is the effect that you are enjoying or suffering, whatever. The result of your own work, of your own action. And action means not only physically, mentally also. And mentally also we are going on thinking something bad, bad result will come. We are going on thinking good, good result will come. So that birth, klada, full of pleasure, paritapu phalaha, punya apunya hetutvat. So it says like that. And what is the punya? That we know. Swami Vivekananda said, the greatest punya is to help others. When you are helping others, that means what? We are understanding that person, loving that person. With all that person, whatever the qualities are there, good or bad, I like that person, love that person, and trying to help that person. So Swami Vivekananda said that is the greatest punya. That is the punya phala. That is the virtue. When you are sitting over here worshipping God, that is also virtue. When you are reading the Holy Scripture, virtue. When you are meditating and sending out all the positive thoughts all over the world, virtue. And when you are actively helping those who can't help them, that's also great virtue. And Swami Vivekananda is telling in this age, the karma yoga, that is the greatest virtue. Go and help them and serve them. Even if you die in that cause, I am telling you, giving you the assurance, you are going to get the mukti, he said. So why this? Because you are forgetting yourself. The ultimate thing is, when you are meditating, what we do? Try to forget ourselves. As long as we remember ourselves, we cannot meditate. When we try to do the worship, what do? We try to forget ourselves. When we are discriminating the Jnana Marga, what do? We try to forget ourselves, try to know ourselves. And in the Karma Yoga also. So this is but the problem is, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Dambha, Darpa, Avimanascha, Krodha, Parushyameva Ajnanam Chabhijatasya Partha Sampadam Asurim. Sampadam, that is also the treasure, but for whom? Asurim. Asurim, who are the Asuris? Those who are very, very selfish people. So they are called Asuris. Now in the 15th aphorism it says, Purinama tapa samaskara dukkaihi guna vritti virodha dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. Vivekinaha. This is not for all. Only for the Vivekina, who has understood this whole world properly by discrimination. Vivekinaha. So that discrimination means one is permanent and another is temporary. Again and again in the Indian philosophy, this will come. Temporary and permanent. Permanent and temporary. What is temporary? Everything that we see. And what is permanent? That Atman, that Brahman, and that in a simple language you call God. Vedanta do not accept God as a permanent, it's changing. If you do very good work, virtuous work, meritorious work, you acquire all the virtues, you become God. And there are so many stories in our Puranas. And similarly, God is also changing. Nakashya prishtate sukrite anubhutve imam lokam hinataram bhavishanti. So, yesterday one lady was asking, I was in Dallas after the retreat, she was asking, Swamiji, is there any chance the next life I will become human being? I told, don't be afraid. Why human being? You can become God. There's still chances are there. What we have to do? Only take the refuge at the feet of God. At the feet of God, when we are taking the refuge, whatever I have done, I have done. But you are the person who can give me the forgiveness. Forgive me. And I have every right to ask that forgiveness because I am your creation. And all those things that I have done, all the mistakes that I have done, because of you. You were responsible. Because you gave all the Maya. And that's why I am this. And in a very wonderful song is there, our Bauls, Bauls is another sampradaya. There are also religious people, but they only sing songs. And they will be wandering here and there. They are telling, Khelbi bole, Phaki diye, Namali bhutal. Ki khela khelali mago, Asha na purilo. So, Khelbi bole, Phaki diye, Namali bhutal means, I am a child, I love play, I love game, and you say that I am going to play, come with me, and you brought me over here in this world. And what is all this game that you have given to me? I am only afflicted, suffering, and you are sitting over there. You are not helping me, it is all you. And it says, I wanted sugar, and you give me everything bitter, it is all your fault. Now whatever has happened, happened. I am not blaming you, and you cannot blame me too. Whatever has happened, happened. Now you must take me on your lap. That is the prayer. So wonderfully it says that whatever we have done, and because of that karma, because of that work, because of the thought, because of the action, these things are happening. So now this Vivekinaha, some people will say, again another lady was asking, Swamiji, you are asking to realize this world, everything is bad, only we have to realize God. What will happen to this world? I told him, that is a great question. What will happen? But the thing is, as long as the people are having this type of question, what will happen? The world will continue. There is no problem. And will you believe, madam, 99.9% people are thinking in this way. What will happen to this world? So I have to survive. So this Dunkin and all these things will be there. There will be no problem. So this way it goes, because the thought, very, very few will only try to realize, discriminate. What is that discrimination? That everything is passing, everything is moving, everything is changing, nothing is permanent. Then why I am like a fool thinking that everything should be permanent in my life? It cannot be. What has happened in the past is going to happen in the present, it is going to happen in the future also. So that is called discrimination, vichara, thinking. If this world is not permanent, why should I be so serious about it? And this thought comes only to a very handful people, blessed people. So the Vivekinaha, then he is telling, the Vivekina Purinama Tapa Samaskara Dukkaihi Guna Vritti Virodha Dukkhameva Sarvam Guna Vritti Virodha. What are the gunas? We all know, the students of the Vedanta. There are three gunas. qualities. Guna means qualities. What are the three gunas? Sattva, Raja and Tama. All thing goes only the permutation and combination of these three gunas. A good person means Sattva is little higher side and others a little lower. Raja means very active. Tama, inertia. So this Sattva, Raja, Tama, these three gunas, these are the only qualities. And because of these qualities, all the time things are happening like this. In the morning, I was so happy. I went down for the breakfast, there was nothing. So again the Rajaguna came. I have to go down to the freezer and bring out these and grumbling. And afterwards, somehow the breakfast was made. Suddenly somebody appeared. And like this, then after that I could not take the breakfast at the 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. I am hungry, I am tamasic. So this happens all the time, every moment in our life. Sometimes we are so happy, we go to the office, we are successful, we are happy. In our society's life, we are happy, we are happy. But sometimes we are not. What one should do? Shall we all the time go along with the waves? That is the question. This is going to happen, the Sattva, Raja and Tama. Sometimes happiness, sometimes very active, sometimes inertia. But the question is what I am going to do? Tranquility. Try to bring it in an equal way, all the time in the same way. That is called austerity, sadhana, and that is all thing in the religion and nothing else. So this way the Swami Vivekananda also is explaining. The discrimination is the judging between the real and the unreal. But the man of spiritual discrimination regards all these experiences as painful. The man of spiritual discrimination, to him it is all painful. That is called renunciation, vairagya. One is discrimination, vichara. In Sanskrit, it called vichara. And second is vairagya. It's called renunciation. These are the two things in the spiritual life. Those who are very sincere to realize God, those who like to only live happily in this world, for them also this is very, very essential. Discrimination and renunciation. What is discrimination? Again, in the Dallas, the one gentleman in the question answer session, he was asking that how we can survive without attachment. Then I told, that is wrong. You cannot happily survive with attachment, but you can happily survive without attachment. Why the discrimination? This is going to happen, of course, but at the same time, my love, my affection, my attachment, my sympathy, everything will be there. Swami Vivekananda, he was somewhere in India. He came to know that a great devotee, from the beginning he was associated with Ramakrishna and his movement. He was a landlord, but very humble, very gentle. He helped so many ways. He passed away, Balaram Bose. And Vivekananda was crying just like a child. Then one gentleman came and told, you are a monk. Why you are crying? Then Vivekananda, through his sobbing, he said, do you think a monk means a stone-hearted person? This is the answer. He knows that people are going to die. But at the same time, all our affection, all our good memories, all our attachments, that reaction is there. But at the same time, I am not going to get mad, totally losing my mental balance. No, nothing is going to happen like that. I know this happens, it's okay. So that way, constantly, discrimination and renunciation, if we can continue, who is getting the benefit? The person who is practicing. I think I told you, friends, that one gentleman from London, he is a famous doctor, long back. I was brahmachari that time. We used to sell the books, all these our publications. And he came, I was not knowing that he was a doctor. He used to come and purchase a lot of books of Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and to send it to an address in London. Almost every week he used to come and purchase and send the same books. I told what he is doing. If he wants to purchase, say, 15 copies of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna at a time. So I told, sir, if you don't mind, what's the reason you are purchasing? Then he told, can you please give me some time? I like to tell this thing. I married a lady, I took her to London, and she deserted me. And I cannot forget that. So now I am sending all these books to her, this is her address, thinking that after going through this book, maybe her mind will change and will come back to me. Now, I told, if this was supposed to happen, then in the first batch of books that you have already sent, the effect could be there. And so many times you have already sent and she is not accepting it at all, throwing it. And maybe only the people who are cleaning the garbage, they are thinking, what's the matter? Every week it is coming like this. So then I told, you are a doctor. Then he said, I am a doctor. I told, you are a doctor. 6 months before only, you married that lady. 6 months before, you were not knowing her. After 6 months, you are not knowing her. Whatever as a husband was supposed to do, you have already done. Now, only just because of 6 months association, why you are ruining your life? Discrimination. Why should I ruin my life? I still love her. In even future, if she asks me to help her, I will surely help her. That is called discrimination. Concern, love, without attachment, because vairagya, renunciation. The renunciation is this. And the one boy, suddenly she started loving a girl in that neighborhood, and that boy approached that girl and told, I like to marry you. Oh, why should I marry you? I have already been fixed in somewhere, etc., etc. Then the last day, something happened. It was summertime, it was deserted streets, and then the girl came out to go to the, just across the road, a shop. And when she was coming back, this boy came running, threw the acid on her face and destroyed both the eyes. And it was court, the case was in the court. Now the argument was, the boy was giving the argument, his lawyer was giving the argument. She has no eyes now and she couldn't recognize. So obviously it was not me, somebody else. She is only giving a false allegation. It was going on like that. The judge, who was the judge, he told me the story, the fact. And he told, when I saw that lady, I could understand she is trembling and something really happened. Otherwise, that such a young lady of 22, 23, why she should say like this? Then I asked the assistant, go and ask her, lady, do you recognize me? He went, asked the question, and she heard the voice and said, no, sir, I can't. Then I asked that the lawyer of the lady, and he also went to that lady and told, do you recognize me? She told, no. Then I asked that lawyer who was defending the boy. He went and told, do you recognize me? She told again the same answer, no. Then I asked that boy. In the meantime, the boy thought, she is not understanding anyone. He also went and said, do you recognize me? Immediately she started shouting, this is the boy, this is the boy. He has done this. So that he was punished. Now, she lost her life. The boy has also lost the life. Why? That is the great question. Every time, every moment this happened. The great writer Homer wrote because of this association. Nothing would not have happened if that prince was not seeing that lady, Helen. So all these things happened because of the association. We will come to that. And wonderfully, our philosophers, they have touched those points too. But in the beginning, they are telling, be careful. Have discrimination and dispassion. Viveka Vairagya. Those who are closely associated with the Ramakrishna movement, they know that's a wonderful song. Esheche notun manush, dekbi jodi aaye chole. Here is a new person has come. If you like to see him, meet him, come. And what is that newness in that person? Viveko vairagya jhuli, dui kandhe sada jhule. And both the shoulder, only two things are happening in two bags. One is viveka, another is vairagya, and nothing else. And Swami Vivekananda is telling that he is the great renouncer. What renounce? He was a very poor man. He was only having nothing almost in his possession. What he has renounced? Ego. That is the renunciation. The moment we can understand this, our whole life is so full of joy. Tad vairagyam jihasa ya darshana sravanadivihi dehadi brahma pariyante anitye bhogavastuni. The highest way they are telling, right from this mere body up to the heaven, everything I renounce. I don't want it, because heaven is also not permanent. Body is not permanent. So that is called discrimination. Whatever is impermanent, I don't want that. You know that great story of the Upanishad. The small little boy went to Yama, the king of death, and the death was telling him, why you are asking about the Atman? Well, the God even can't understand that. Very complicated idea. You better take all these things and go and play, enjoy. Tabai babaha tabanitta gite. That boy told, keep all those things for you. You enjoy. I don't need. I need only the knowledge of the self, knowledge of the Atman. So that is called discrimination. Even through temptations, even through fear, this discrimination and dispassion, renunciation, that is called viveka, vairagya. These are the two qualities. If the human society can develop even a bit, whole society will be full of peace, harmony and progress. It's not only the spiritual development, also the materialistic development. Because of this too. And here he says that Swami Vivekananda, he is reading, I am reading out, that the Swamiji is telling, and last time also we read, according to the philosophy of the yogis, all virtuous actions bring pleasure, all vicious actions bring pain. Any man who does wicked deeds is sure to reap the fruit in the form of pain. So parinama, what is the parinama? Means result. The word parinama means result. What is that? Pain, dukkha. So this dukkha, then afterwards he is telling, to the discriminating, all is as it were painful. Why? On account of everything bringing pain, either as consequence or as anticipation of the loss of happiness. This is a way they are discriminating. Then when something directly painful, we can understand that. At the same time, something very good, full of happiness, but at the same time we are painful. Why? Is going to get some stop someday, sometime. The one little boy was crying. His father asked, "What's the matter?" I want to take an ice cream. Okay, the father purchased an ice cream and gave it to him, and he was happy. And after some time, again he was crying. The father, what? Why you were crying again? Now ice cream is getting shorter and shorter as long as the more I am eating, the more it is becoming shorter. I am thinking after some time there will be no ice cream. Thinking that there will be no ice cream, I am crying. So the same thing the yogi is also telling, Swami Vivekananda is giving here, on account of everything bringing pain, either as consequence or as anticipation of loss of happiness. So, in everything, this is the consequence, this is ultimately, it is painful. So, this way we have to think. And then what happens? For the discriminative people, a very young man, 18 years old, 19 years old, Narendranath Datta, he was studying in his own room. Suddenly this thought came in his mind. Then he ran from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar, a few miles. In those days, that was not a proper roads were not there. He was going on running without any shoe, without caring where he is going. He reached to Sri Ramakrishna. And we find in the Shankaracharya, he is giving the description of this type of mentality. What is that? Durvara samsara davagni taptam dodhuo manam drudrishta bhataihi bhitam prapannam paripahi mrittu sharanna manyat yadaham na jane. Now, is coming to a person and he is taking the refuge to that person. Sir, I do not know anybody else than you. Please help me. Why? Nobody is going to hurt him. But he is thinking that save me from the death and affliction. From the death and affliction means fear of death. It's not that you won't die. Vivekananda afterwards died in 39 years only. So death means only changing the body. So fear of death. I am going to die like that. There's only the fear of death. I saw one person, when the food is to give you, that is all, everything is neat and clean, but he will all the time remove the top portion of the food. What's the matter? Maybe that dust has come on that with the bacteria, so on the top of the food I am leaving. That way, I know how long you can live like that. If you give the water, the first something you will just throw it and then you will drink. Why? The first layer, maybe some fear of death, constantly fear of death. Is this the living? No. The fear of death means only thinking I like to survive in this body, but this body is going to die. We read afterwards in the newspaper that the tyrant, we can say, the ruler, when the people used to come to see him, to meet him, they used to come through so many places that then only afterwards they'll have to change the dress and then they can meet him, because afraid of death. Maybe that when the person is coming, before that the doctor should check, then he should come through this, come through that, apply this medicine, that medicine, bathing, then only. So it was a hell to meet that person. But you know how he died? He was killed by the American soldiers. Just like a rat he died, beneath an earth. And there was nothing. Who was giving this protection? So fear of death means what? Someday I am going to die, whoever I may be. So this is the reason all the time, the discrimination. And it says that enjoyment of pleasure is painful. Enjoyment of pleasure is also painful. Why? The fear of loss. Second, past pleasure is painful. Why? Because the renewed cravings also arises. Again I feel If I could go there, if I could eat that, if I could go get that, that is also there. Happiness when depends on our mood. Happiness always depends on our mood. You will see elderly person like me all the time say, in our childhood days, things were so happy, so good, everybody was like this. Everyone will tell like that, because the past life we like to go and enjoy that. There's a story, an elderly person who was praying, God, can you please make me just like my grandchild? So I like to enjoy that life again. And the grandchild was praying to the same God, can you please make me an elderly person like my grandfather? And nobody is giving any restriction. I can go anywhere, I can eat anything, I am totally free. So God told nothing, no problem for me. So he granted both. Now he became an old person and he became a child, and both were suffering. And Rabindranath in his poem he wrote, Jaha chai, taha bhool kure chai. Oh God, sometimes I am praying to you, but maybe that by mistake I am asking for that. Jaha pai, taha chaina. But when you were giving that to me, actually I never wanted that. So always it happens. So here it says, look at the way there, only meditation. And what we think about meditation, simply go and sit over there and close your eyes, and the moment you close your eyes, you are meditating. Not like that. These are the discrimination. Enjoyment of pleasure is painful, fear of loss. Past pleasure is painful because the renewal of the cravings. And happiness, when depends on our mood, cannot be lasting. And Father, he has taken, yesterday only I saw, all people are coming to join their families because of the long vacation, Thanksgiving vacation. The plane is full of children, and naturally the parents, they are also engaged with the children. Somebody is shouting, somebody is running, somebody doing this. Children cannot sit in the chair for the 2.5 hours. Parents are going on playing with the iPads and all that, what the children will do. So sometimes he is beating on that iPad, the father is removing him, and then he wants to go down, mother won't allow this going, and then he is shouting. All these things are going on. Where they are going? They are going to, now the mood of the father, he was so happy when the whole family, they were traveling, purchased the ticket, came over there. Then slowly it is late, there is no food, even the water is not given in the flight. So mood changed. The happiness became unhappiness. And he had an argument with the air hostess. Can't you give a glass of water even? Then all this thing. Then I am going to complain. Sir, you can purchase it. And so many things happened. The whole mood changed. And I observed and I thought, see, he started to enjoy. Now in this time, when he will get down, he will meet other friends also. And I saw so many people waiting over here in the Chicago. All the Dallas people are coming, and from the distance they are waving their hands, shouting, and then embracing, kissing. So all these things, they are so happy. So always it goes in a wave. Sometimes they are happy, sometimes unhappy. Why? The mood is changing. To the observation of our rishis, at the time of Patanjali, there was no Dallas or Chicago. But he never got all this experience. But how could he write this? And very clearly he is mentioning. And afterwards we find in the next sloka, 16th aphorism, it says, Heyam dukkham anagatam. Now it is in your hands. You are the maker of your own destiny. Swami Vivekananda said, you are the maker of your own destiny. Everything is in your hand. Today I am suffering, no matter, doesn't matter. I am going to make myself happy afterwards. What Want only thing? Faith. What is the faith? Faith in the words of the rishis. What are those? If you can do good work, you are going to enjoy, be sure of it. Only faith in these words. And you are surely going to get the pain, the misery which is yet to come may be avoided. Heyam. Heyam means may be avoided. Heya, avoided. Dukhyam, misery. Anagatam, which is going to come. Here they say there are three types of karmas that we have already discussed. Sanchit, Prarabdha, Agami. These are the Sanskrit words. Sanchit means we have already worked and we have got the result. We have kept it under lock and key. We have not opened that box as if. Then Prarabdha, we just opened that bag and whatever slowly we are taking it out and utilizing. And then is coming the next, Agami. I don't know what is going to happen. So what I can do? The karma already done, the result stored up. Karma already done, result started bearing fruits. Karma which are now a process of doing, in the process of doing. So regarding this karma it is said, in the 16th aphorism of the 2nd chapter, here the Patanjali says, Heyam, Dukhyam, Anagatam. You can control it. You can avoid the pain when it is. And that is what Patanjali means when he says, Te prati prashavo heya sukshma. Te, when we do the work, when the thought is there. How the thought comes? The desire is there. What is the root of our action? Desire. So if we can control the desire, so naturally there is no work. So they go to the root. That is the beauty of our scriptures. And sometimes some people, the doctors of this, Kaviraj, they say, they will go to the root. We are not going to immediately give you the medicine just to get a little cure of now. We are going to uproot the main thing. So the uprooting means they are going to the root. What is the root? Desire. So if we don't have the desire, then there is no problem. So this is the way they say, Te prati prashabho heya sukshma, the subtle. Sukshma means subtle. What is that very subtle thing? Desire. And from the desire only comes action. So here they say samskaras are to be controlled by resolving them into their causal state. When the cause is there, their self we have to remove. Then the question comes, why all these things? What is our real nature? Who are we? Who am I? Then 17th aphorism, it gives the answer, Drashti, Drishyo, Samyoga, Heya Hetuhu. Drashti means the seer. And Drishya means the seen. Samyoga Hetu, all these things is happening. When the person is seeing, not only seeing, only feeling, the only things are happening. If we don't see, there is no problem at all. So when we see and the desire come in my mind, then all problems goes on. In Andaman, the people are very simple. The one person purchased an TV. And you know, the villages are very small villages, hardly 10 people, 15 people, families. So he invited all the villagers of the 15 neighbors to come and observe the TV. That was the first TV in that village. And in Andaman, all are islands, remote islands, very difficult to go. Somehow he purchased that TV and he invited, there was a feast, they observed the TV, antenna and all those things that was. Now, another person, he was not knowing about the TV, but when he saw the TV, a desire came to enjoy that. And what he did, one day when that person, in Andaman there is no lock and key, nobody closed the doors, everything is open. There is no thief at all. And even if you do something like that, you cannot go away. So obviously, and you will wonder, even the people who are coming from the foreign countries for the fishing and all those things, they are arrested by our coast guards, and they stay in that our as a police custody. But in the morning, the police, they ask them to go out. So who will feed them? So go, and you earn your own money. And as because there is no labor, we used to hire those people for the labor. 100 rupee per day they used to work, and police is police everywhere. So when they go back, the police was supposed to feed them and all that. That money also they have saved. And when they go back with the 100 rupee, they will take 20 rupees from that. So it goes on like this. So the society. Now this person, he saw that TV, and then one day when that other person was not there, he took away the TV and this antenna and all that, and he was intelligent enough to fix it, but foolish enough to invite again all his neighbors to show that I too have a TV. Look at it. Oh, I was wondering how it came into his head that only the next door. So he brought the TV and antenna, fixed it, and then invited. He also cooked, had a feast, and that man told, but I purchased the TV, somebody has taken it away. Now you never purchased, where from you got it? So he went to the police and complained. Police came and told, okay, now we will settle. You give me 10,000 rupees. Why? Because you have stole it. If you are not giving me 10,000, I will put you behind the bar. And he asked that owner of the TV, you give me 5,000. Why? Because we are finding the TV from here, this, and giving it back. So the police was very happy, and perhaps they were inspiring others also to do the same. So this way, but then when I heard this story, then I was thinking, why all this? Because drashti here, drishyayoho samyoga. When a person sees, then the desire comes. If you don't see, there is no desire, no action, and no problem. So here it says, Sangat sanjayate kamaha in Bhagavad Gita, in a very poetical way, is giving the step by step. Sangat. What is the Sangat? Means association. Sanjayate. It generates kamaha, desire. When you are going over there, Sangat sanjayate kamaha, and then kamat krodha vijayate. The moment you have a desire, and that desire is not fulfilled, anger comes. Krodha vijayate. Then krodhat bhavati sammoha. And when you are angry, you forget everything. Sammoha, completely deluded with that. Sammohat smriti vibhrama, all the good thoughts, that is also not helping you at that moment. Smriti bhamshad buddhinasha. What is the best thing in a human mind? Buddhi, intellect. And what is that intellect? Decision making faculty. Shall I do it or not? Decision taking faculty, making faculty of the mind is called buddhi. And this is very important in Indian philosophy. One who can take the proper decision is a great person. One who cannot take the proper decision, right moment. One story, again, funny story. This is nothing. A group of people, they assembled and told friends, We have a lot of money and we are physically strong, but we are not respected in that society because we don't have the intellect. So we have to develop our intellect. We have to learn what is called buddhi, intellect. Now, so and so, they are all intellectual people. Someone should go learn that and come back and teach us. The moment we become intellectuals, then we have the money, we have the physical good feature is also good and strength is there, so we will be the best people in the whole society, human society. So one person was selected, he was sent to that place and he went whole night traveling. He got down from the train and he was wondering, it's a big city, and you know, always in the cities there will be some people ready to cheat others. And he unfortunately met one such. He said, hey, why you are walking like this? You know, the walking like this is not permissible in the cities. I'm sorry. Okay, I can. What is the reason you have come over here? Now I want a teacher, a guru, who can teach me buddhi, intellect. Oh, you are lucky that you met me. I am the most intelligent person in this city. I can teach you. Come, I will show you. And there was a iron pillar. He told, I am putting my hand like this and you give a good punch over this. He said, he's from the village, very strong man, but his buddhi is like me. So he thought, can I punch it strongly, forcefully? Yes, you do. And he did it. He just took out the hand and he was having the pain. Well, this is buddhi. Now give me 1,000 rupee and go. And he paid the money and he was so happy that this is the only thing you have to do this much, and that is called buddhi. He went, called the meeting and told, friends, it's so simple. Only bring one iron pillar, I will show you. And in the village, where he will get the iron pillar? So only anyway, I want a volunteer to come over here on the dais. A volunteer came and he kept the hand on his own nose. And this thing happened. So the buddhi means you have to take decision in a proper manner, in a proper time. He taught the correct thing, but when we are learning, we could not do it properly. So, drashti drishyayoho samyoga heya hetuho. The buddhi is very, very, we can say, that's why the goddess Kali is having all the garlands of human skull, that is buddhi, symbol of buddhi. Drashti means the seer, drishyayoho means seen, samyoga identification, and that is the reason of pain. And again, I just read out from Swami Vivekananda. Who is the seer? The self. This we have to understand. Within us, there is something which we call mind. Even the intelligent people, educated people, they say, our mind is conscious. But the Hindu scriptures say, our rishis, they say, they discovered it's not the mind. Why? Mind is changing the mood. Anything that is changing is going to be destroyed. So it cannot be. The behind the mind there is something which is reflecting on the mind, and we think the mind is actually, sometimes some people, they will be reflecting the sunlight on a mirror, piece of mirror, and from the distance people will think the mirror is giving the light. It's not. It's the reflection of the sun, and we can't see the sun. That's why, as because we can't see our seer, that is the Atman, the Purusha, the self, we think our mind is intelligent, the mind is conscious. No. Who is the seer? The self. What is the seen? The whole nature, beginning with the mind down to gross matter. Beginning with mind down to gross matter. All pleasure and pain arise from the junction between this Purusha and the mind. Purusha means that Atman, and the mind which is reflecting the picture of Atman. That is the human mind. The Purusha is pure. When joined to nature, it appears to feel pleasure or pain by reflection. This line I repeat, and we have to remember, because as we will make the progress, slowly, we will go towards this knowledge, this truth, that the Purusha is the pure. What is the pure means? It's not having three gunas again. Anything having these three qualities, Sattva, Raja, Tama, so naturally contaminated by at least one of it. But the Purusha, the seer, the Atman, the self, is totally free from this. That's why it is completely pure. When joined to nature, how the pure, without any gunas, can join to nature? No, it is not actually. It is only appearing. And when appear like that, then comes the pleasure or pain by reflection. Up to this we will study, and from the 18th aphorism and the next. And let me tell you that because of the so much cold and this thing, and we will be suspending. I will send you the emails. Those who are our Google group, having the Google group, then you will receive it. But just let you tell you this. We are going to suspend the classes December, January, February, I think March also. The 4 months are very cold and there will be snow. So our people will be, it's difficult to come. So the Tuesday and Friday, Tuesday I give the gospel, that is Panchama Veda, and the Friday Swami Varadananda ji, he gives the Upanishad. These two classes will be suspended. But the Sunday discourse will be continued. So this is what we say, just to announce, and from the next class again we will discuss. Let us conclude. But if you have any question, then you can please ask. If you have any question, yeah. Ramnam Shivanam will continue. If you stop the Ram Shivanam, then the Prasad will also stop. We cannot stop the Prasad. The Prasad should continue.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I saw an article about 10 days back, from Dr. Narayan Murthy, the Infosys chairman.
Right.
And he has contrasted the Parsi community and the Hindu community in general. And the Parsi community do a lot of, this helping the poor and all. He has given a lot of examples and all. In that article, he is saying a very rich billionaire, Hindu billionaire, I don't want to name him, but I can send the article to all of you. He has gold-plated a temple, spending billions of dollars. Okay. My question is that punya? Is that good work?
This, of course, is a good work. Making the temple. Why? That answer in the next Sunday class we will discuss. Swami Vivekananda is giving the answer. Most of the Hindus, they like to contribute for the temple. Even when we approach our devotees to say we are having some loan we have to pay back, they say, no Swamiji, I am not interested, but when you will construct the temple, I will give you. Why? Because in the temple, the people always think about good. Obviously, whatever we think, that is a very wonderful way, in a very scientific way, Swami Vivekananda is explaining, and the next class we will discuss that. We are constantly sending out our vibrations. Each and every one of us are sending the vibrations. And that vibration, when it's coming with another one, we become so close, so friendly. When that vibration is not mixing, we cannot. So that is the proof. And the people, when they come to the temple, one vibration about God. Some very strongly, some very in a very simple way they are trying to do, remembering God. So whenever a person is entering into the temple, he is getting the benefit of it. That is a punya that the Hindu they always believed. Now you know, in the Hindu dharma, in the Hindu Shastra, why helping was not there. Why? Because there was no poverty. If you think in in a few decades, there is no poverty in the Hindu society. But the philosophy was Daridra Devo Bhava is added by Swami Vivekananda very recently. Previously, it was Atithi Devo Bhava. Anyone, the Atithi, without any appointment, anyone is coming, you are supposed to treat him as God. So not a single soul, they died without food. So no question of helping. Secondly, people were so happy with very simple living, high thinking. That was the society's norms. Even the kings, they used to only wear a cloth and bare body. You will see the pictures of our kings. Very simple living, high thinking. That was the India. So the Hindu society, that helping attitude to the poor, very recently Swami Vivekananda only introduced. Will you believe? In 1776, when the Britishers, they got the power of ruling and collecting the taxes from Bihar, Bengal and Odisha, and Bengal was including the Assam, Bihar, Bengal, Odisha. That was the first time India saw the famine. You can see, the all-knowing Google can tell you. Yeah, Google knows everything. And there if you go and you will find that before 76, that Chiyattarer Mannantar, in Bengal they call it, Mannantar means the famine. Millions and millions of people that died just because of morsel of food, and they wanted only the liquid water of the rice at a time of cooking, that liquid water. Give me that, I don't need the rice. They are so hungry. Why? Because the Britishers, they first broke the whole economy. When the people don't have the economy, the support of economy, they are poor, they are hungry, you can make them, you can use them in any manner they like. So when he is writing, he is a very excellent person. He is writing, he should also reflect in the past. The Hindus were not having the poverty as such. So the habit of helping was not. So Swami Vivekananda introduced it recently because now it is necessary. And that the Karma Yoga is all, Swamiji is telling, you have heard the Veda says, Pitri Devo Bhava, Matri Devo Bhava, your father is God, mother is God, teacher is God. I say, Vivekananda is adding, Daridra Devo Bhava, Murkha Devo Bhava. Not only the Daridra, not only the poor, but also the foolish. I have seen those people in the villages. I gave them a lot of goats to develop so that they can earn money. And 3 months they never came to me. And I came to know from different sources that in that villages they are having, every day there is a feast. I told only you have to grow these goats only for 1 year or 2 years. After that each of you will earn a lot of money. But they never had that capacity to think and the foolishness. So when they came back after 3 months, they came back again, Swamiji, thoda sa madad chahiye. I could understand that. And my companions, all the Swamis and the Brahmacharis, they told, Swamiji, don't help those people. They have eaten all those goats. Now they are telling the lies. I told, that's why Swami Vivekananda said, Murkha Devu Bhava. They are our gods. Because they cannot take proper decision for themselves. We have to go on helping them, making them. So this is maybe the reason. I don't know. If possible, you can write to that person. Do you think it is also an answer? Like that you can write. Any other question? Okay. So we will conclude with this chanting. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo Vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyanam navasangatam naiva muktirnameya Chidananda Rupa Shivoham 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 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. But Mr. Basu, I just thought this, I must clarify. In Bhagavad Gita it says Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma. Dana. It was there in the past, but that dana is not for the poverty of the poor. It is to support the intellectual people, because the Brahmins. The Brahmins were the researchers. Somebody was researching on agriculture, some were researching on others, someone on God, intellectual, spirituality, and the society used to help them. So you have seen, you have read in our Upanishads, Yajnavalkya is coming to the king's court and asking for some support, because Yajnavalkya was a teacher. He used to teach thousands of students, but they never charged anything from the students. And the kings and the society, they used to help them. So that is the reason that dana, that word is there. But that dana should not be interpreted as the conception of present day dana. Now the people are coming and asking for the alms. Sannyasins, only sannyasins, they used to go to house for taking the alms. Now even we go. The sannyasins, they go. The dana is a punya karma. That is there in our Hindu scripture, in the Hindu society, even in the past. But we have to remember that not in the present day concept. Okay, thank you very much.